What up, y'all? I'm back with another video, and I'm late as hell, but I am here to do the wrap up of 2021 for my top favorite songs, albums, albums and EPs, songs, albums, EPs, cover. Well, I'm not gonna do covers, and by covers I mean like literally just project covers, covers of the project. I'll just tweet that out. And I'm also going to talk about the Mount Rushmore, the four best rappers in 2021. Of course, in my opinion, it's all my opinion. Um, and I'm also going to talk about the three most unique albums that I heard in 2021. This is all going to be real briefly because it's a wrap up. And of course, then after this, reviews are on the way. I might record one after this. I've already gotten one that I know I'm going to record written, and it's uploaded to okaythough.com. Okaythough.com right now. Definitely check out okaythough.com. Y'all have heard me speak about that before. I've been meaning to do like a separate video, and I've been meaning to do this video for like a month now. And before that, I've been meaning to make the video before even then, but some 2021 stuff came up as far as music goes, and I'm just trying to keep it separate. Like what I do personally before I was even on the site to what I do we've been doing now for like the last 5 years, the site and the YouTube channel. I'm trying to keep those separate, even though there is some uh, overlap between both naturally. So let's go ahead and get right into it. The first album I want to talk about is Cities of Viv. This is three most unique albums of 2021. Um, the Crash and Sound of How It Goes. It was just a very unique album. Cities is from Memphis, I believe. I think he's around my age. I think he's 24, 25. I think so. It has that. There's elements of that old Memphis sound in here, more so 8 Ball and MJG, but it sounds like he's mixing alternative with not necessarily techno, but maybe a little bit of uh, dark house, um, hip hop, of course, pop, and little bit of classical. Well, not necessarily classical, but more so when he sticks to playing the horn by itself. And he released Man Plays Horn in 2022. That was a good album as well. This next album is The Lost Color by Signs of a Slumbering Beast. I mean, they're called Signs, but then of a Slumbering Beast in caps. I mean, not caps, but in not quotations. What are those even called? Uh, Shit, you know the spaces between. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But yeah, this is very rockish, but at the same time, it's also a bit melancholy. It sounds indie, uh, and it's so fitting that that's what it sounds like because that's what I expect an album like this to sound like. More so on the indie, melancholic, shoegaze type sound because of the title of the cover of the album. Actually, it's a dog looking up at what looks like. I'm trying to remember exactly what the dog was looking at. Given the angle, because the dog could have just been looking forward, and the angle just made it look like the dog was looking up at someone or something. Um, but yeah, definitely check that out. And the last but not least is Lil Ugly Mane. Shout out to him, he's from Virginia. With Volcanic Bird, Enemy, and The Voice Concern. Just this album is like I remember this one album I heard in 2020 from Kill the Giants. I forget what that album was called, but it reminds me of that, but a hip hopper did it. I mean, let's see, Kill the Giants. What was that album even called? Because I'll definitely check that out too. Because this album sounds like I said, a hip hopper did something similar to that. That album was Drones, Clones, and Bio Machines, I believe. I believe that's what that album was. It sounds right, and if I remember that cover correctly, that title would be fitting for that for that cover. Let's go ahead and get right into it. We're 4 minutes and 20 seconds in. So let's start with let's save the albums for last. See if I can get this if I can get this under 20 minutes as well. So let's start with the fave songs. My favorite songs of 2021. I'll start from the bottom. Daggers by Hamish Hawk. Hamish Hawk is from Scotland. This song is very beautiful. I feel like I could be listening to this like just I'm downtown in the coffee shop. Just this is playing. I'm looking out the window. It's one of those cold or cooler damp days in the fall. It sounds like this is one of those songs for me. That's what it sounds like. Uh, I really like the chorus. Like there's nothing sacred or shouldn't it be? Y'all businessmen, women like me. You should have seen what she got me on Christmas Day. I felt the song. I didn't think too much about the lyrics at first. I just really enjoyed what I was hearing. And for it to be daggers is what you were getting on Christmas. It's like, well, damn, you might have gotten heartbreak on Christmas Day. Shit. The next track is Easy on Me by Adele. You've heard this, I'm guessing. I mean, she dropped. What album was this? 30, I want to say, which was a good album. I spent like April of 2020. That was one of the last albums I was listening to before getting everything together. And just a very beautiful track, like just some asking for forgiveness, for empathy, because she was in a time in her life where she didn't get to choose what chose to do. Just a very beautiful track, like most of what I've heard from Adele. I've never heard a bad Adele song. I'm not in love with her by any means, um, but I like everything that I've heard from her. I just don't listen often. Next is MP5 by Trippie Redd. Trippie, man, this is why I like giving artists a chance, because I don't listen to Trippie a lot, but he's one of those guys where I feel like there's going to be a song that I at least like on each project, so I'll check it out. And this was the one that stood out most. There was another one, but nothing comes close to this. Pretty cool music video as well. It just goes hard, and I feel like this is what this track is about, just going hard. Like, see me out in LA, just know I'm balling like Kobe. It just sounds like not just stepping up, but how do you feel now that you have stepped up, in a sense? Like, this is where I'm at now. I've leveled up, and I'm feeling good. And this is the track uh, to play as the soundtrack for how I'm feeling at the moment. Now, the next track is By Storm by Injury Reserve. This felt like the saying goodbye to Grogs for me, honestly. Uh, and I'm not gonna lie, I could barely understand what was being said, but just the vibe of it, like the sound, the title for it to be called By Storm. Uh, and who knows, that could be their way of saying, like, bye, even though, of course, they'll never forget Grogs and they'll always miss him. It could be their way of saying, well, now I hate to say this, like, moving on without him. Kind of because, like, you have no choice because old boy's gone now, but. Um, Yeah, man. Rest in peace, Grogs. Like that is just out of nowhere. And it was the last track on the album, so it was fitting for it to be the last track. Like, again, it felt like saying goodbye to Grogs in a sense. It felt like saying goodbye. Like, this is the it. This is it. It's the end of this album. Um, and it kind of feels like saying goodbye, like, to the storm, of course. Like, by storm, we've ridden it out. We've rode that out. Um, and yeah, it's just man, rest in peace, Grogs. The next track is Timberwolves by Navy Blue. This is a very short track off of Navy's album, and now I might not be, I might not get this under 20 minutes. It might be two parts. But yeah, boom bap shit. Like, not what I expect from Navy, but not primarily because he has his own type of sound that's like off that Earl. He's grown since then. He's progressed from that sound, that Mike Earl, some rap song sound that I was introduced to him on. He's grown past that. I've never seen him as this kind of rapper, even though it is kind of like what he comes from in a sense. Because Mike and Earl kind of come from this sound as well. And not that that's what they sounded like primarily in their early days, but this is where hip hop kind of comes from. Uh, in that more, it's weird to call it mainstream because Mike Earl is nowhere near mainstream. So uh, Mike and Navy aren't either, unfortunately. But this sounds like I said, it sounds like it's not what I expect from him, but it's what he comes from in a sense. So he sounds right at home. Just that It's like I was listening to some Gangstar or some shit. Honestly. Um, Speaking of which, actually, now that I think about it, actually, I also just thought about a fun fact about this track. Actually, let me look up something real quick. Who produced this track? It doesn't say who produced it. Okay, but this might not even be a fun fact. Actually, no, this is a fun fact. This is the only track that was one of my 10 favorites of 2021 that was featured on the album. That was also one of my 10 favorite albums of 2021. So a bit of a spoiler there. The next track is Scarlet Letters by UFO Thief or Feb. I can't get that. I don't know if it's Feb or Thief. Oh shit. But this track is just amazing. And it's so simple. That's the thing though. It's boom bap. It sounds like it's cold and hard from the streets. And Feb, he flows smoothly over it. He's feeling himself. Like he's on his shit. He says he's painting like Salvador Dali. And this I just fuck with this track. Like when I first heard that, and then I fuck with it. I really do. He's talking about coming up and how his boys have come up, and it's like how one of his boys had a pager when he got his first gram. If he had dabbed anybody on this earth can, so he's looking at it like, so why are y'all broke? Like why are these other dudes doing being broke? You've been free your life. You got 2 eyes, 2 legs, you can read and you can write. You don't shoot dope. You ain't got no felonies to fight, but you're cool with doing nothing with life. Shit ain't right. I'm over here just quoting it like that. Next track is End Credits by JPEG Mafia. This just goes hard. Like I feel like it's like a contained it's like a contained breakdown. Honestly. Like I'm for real. Like he's going so hard. He's matching the presence of the beat with his own on the mic. And he's not rambling because rambling is like just going on about nothing or something and trying to figure it out. Peggy, on the other hand, is more so just one after the other. Yeah, this and that. Like I'm this and I'm that. And he's saying like what grown men co-signing trash and shit. It just it just goes hard. The next track is Kiss of Death Forever by Cities Aviv. Aviv? Yeah. This song was the first track on the album, and it kind of sets the tone for what this album's going to sound like, the crashing sound of how it goes. It kind of sets the tone for how the album's going to go. But it breaks up a little bit. The album does. But this track, like I said, it sets the tone. It's just out there. Like it really is, from the vocalization. Oh no, that's harmonizing. Like there's a difference to me. The harmonizing, the instrumentation. That's so off kilter. It's so like wonky. I just fuck with it though. Next is Sleepwalking by Child. 2 Eyes and Child. Very, I don't want to say fun, but it's upbeat. But the lyrics and the cadence from Child, it kind of makes it I don't even really know how to say it. It's kind of a give or take, maybe. Because it's upbeat, but at the same time, the lyrics make you go. It's like, yeah, we're just sleepwalking anyway. Like he's asking, how does it feel to be fast asleep under the moonlight, and things like that. It's like you're just sleepwalking through this experience, So it's kind of a, one of those type of deals. And the last track is Contagious by Safe featuring Kiana Lede. Oh, I hope I'm not butchering. This was off of the Black Messiah soundtrack, Judas and the Black Messiah soundtrack. Makes me want to dance, even though it's kind of a somber, dark beat. Somber, dark track. But still, it's kind of upbeat because it moves so. It's fast. It's about kind of being in a relationship that's pretty much bad for you. It's a toxic relationship, but you can't get out of it because while they're contagious, and maybe what I mean by contagious is not just the relationship itself that's toxic isn't just toxic. It's contagious because maybe they didn't elaborate further on if this spills over into their lives outside of the relationship, but maybe it's one of those relationships where it's like what I'm dealing with in the relationship, it kind of just spills over to a personal life. They didn't say that, but maybe it's one of those. But yeah, those are my 10 favorite tracks of 2021. Jesus. Let's do the Mount Rushmore real quick. Ransom. Continuation of 2020, man. Like, he came through. Like, he really did. He had what? What did he have? He had freaking Coup de Grace with Rome Streets. He also had the EPs that he had in 2021, which is the reason why he won in 2020 for me as well. Heavy as the Head. And he also had the 7 EP, which is one of my favorites of 2021 as well. Next, we got Rome Streets, because he dropped Coup de Grace with Ransom. He also dropped, what was it called with Uncle John? He had Genesis 127 with Uncle John, he had The Death and the Magician, and he also dropped Razor's Edge. So yeah, that's why he wins for me. Uncle John, he wins in he's on the Mount Rushmore in 2021 because he dropped As a Man Thinketh. He also had dropped Genesis 127 with Rome Streets. He also dropped Honey Sweeter Than Blood with Dash and two other dudes, actually. Another guy, Look Damien. And Novelist. Novelist he lands on the Mount Rushmore in 2021 for me because of dropping Book of Changes with Dixon Hill, and also because he was a part of Maverick Hunters with uh, Fan Ran. They dropped Maverick Hunters. Now let's see. You know what? What did I just cover? I covered Mount Rushmore. I covered the top tracks for the year. I also covered the unique albums. I'm going to leave the 2021 albums for a separate video. So yeah, I covered the unique albums, the Mount Rushmore, and the fave songs. Should I go ahead and do the EPs? Let's see. I don't know. Let's see. Speaking of which, I think I tweeted out my top 10 EPs. Anyway, I know I at least did a I wrote it on okiller.com talking about my favorite EPs. So I'll just leave the EPs and top albums for a separate video. And I'll see y'all then. Thank you for watching. And this will be out like right after. See y'all.